Sorry about that, guys. Welcome back. This is Walking Dead Season 3, Episode 3, Walk With Me. And this is a pretty good episode. It was more of a building episode, not a whole lot of moments that were really like, wow, that was amazing. But it was a solid episode. It really laid the groundwork with the governor and all that for possibly Episode 4 and the rest of the way to build some more rising action. So it was a good episode. It seemed pretty short to me, though. I looked down at the clock and it was like 10 minutes left, and I was like, what? I felt like I'd only been watching for 10 minutes, so that was interesting. Now, this whole episode, as you may or may not have guessed or thought, Michonne and Andrea and the governor, I guess you could say, were the focus. There was nothing of Rick's group. So it was just them in Woodbury, as we'll get into here. So, as was suggested, I'm going to try and provide more of my own personal thoughts and less of the story. Because if you're watching this, I assume you've already watched it and you have your own thoughts. So I'm here to provide mine, and you can provide yours, and we'll see what everyone's thinking in the community here. So, opens up basically with the helicopter crash. And that was really interesting because I think this was one of the parts that was in the trailer for season 3. And I'd always wondered, how did it go down? Was there a walker inside it? But no, there wasn't. It was a malfunction, as you know. And very interesting scene. The two of them die on site, and one of them is ripped open on the ground and isn't a walker yet. But by the time Governor shows up, he's a walker. And Governor, man, I mean, I feel like I could talk for 20 minutes on Governor because he's really the focus of this episode. He was really interesting. He spends probably 90% of this episode just being really cool and really likable. And in a lot of ways, you see him, or at least I saw him, as being like, oh, this guy, if he met up with Rick, they could work something out here. They could make something happen. But the other 10% of the story that happens in this episode with the governor, you're like, like, what is going on? And I think one of the biggest themes throughout this episode, for me anyway, was, like, what is the secret behind all of this? Why is Woodbury, like, it just has this perfect glow about it and this perfect society about it. And we've seen this story before where this perfect society rises up, this utopia, but it's evil in the background. But so I think that for the first half of the episode, or 3/4, and you can see Michonne is skeptical too. Andrea's she's pretty much accepted it. She likes it. And but the whole time you're like, what is the governor up to? Like, why is he all like good like this? And why is what's up with Woodbury? Like, why they've got some secret and it just eats you until you find out. Which they kind of do it at the end. So helicopter crash, Andrea being sick. I'd been wondering this in episode I think it was episode 1, the opener, and I guess I was trying to correlate her being sick because of what happened at the farm, but that's not fair because it's actually, as she said in this episode, been 8 months. So 8 months have passed. So obviously she's come across something new in that 8 months. Maybe she got sick and she just doesn't have the medicine to deal with it, or whatever, malnutrition or something like that. So 8 months have passed, and she's sick. So that was that. We don't really know why. We just know she is. Also, with the helicopter crash, you got to see the governor group is quite a skilled little group. They've got crossbow, not crossbow. Yeah, well, kind of crossbow, but mostly just bow and arrow people, and they're deadly accurate from a good range. So they're not just. That's kind of a foreshadowing to see that they are a military group as much as they are a cultural group right from the start, because you see them sniping these zombies in the head from far distances, and they understand that if you shoot it draws attention, so they're arrows first, and if at last resort you use bullets. And the whole time you can see the governor kind of coaching his guys along and telling them, you know, do this is good, or don't do this isn't good. And so he does have that element where he's kind of like the head coach and he's organizing things, but at the same time you're still wondering what is going on behind the scenes here, because something's not right. Also, we get Merle showing up, Merle Dixon, who was in season 1, the first half, or maybe just the first couple episodes, and he had a cameo in the second season, which I hated that cameo, because he was designed in that cameo to be so hateable. But I must say, I really did not like the idea of him coming back, but I was actually quite impressed how they did it. You know, he's not as terrible a person as we've seen, and maybe it's because everyone else is so bad now too. Like Rick has gone from like this family father man to being like this making tough decisions, like kind of allowing people to die kind of guy. So I mean, Rick's made a lot of tough choices too. So Merle, he's an old racist, but that's just the way it is. And I thought he looked a little different. I mean, it's been probably at least a year or so since he's been with the group. He's got his hand, obviously, which has been amputated, kind of, and he's got that attachment dagger thing on the end, which is pretty sick. And it was really interesting. One line that I thought was really interesting was when the scientist named Milton, who was running the Woodbury lab, which is really cool. We should talk about that later. How he said to Governor, he's like, "Are you sure? I know you want every toolbox should have a hammer, but are you sure the hammer is the right tool to do the job?" I just thought that was really cool. I'm going to keep that expression for real life. I like that one. That's a good one. Okay, so Merle was interesting. I guess the main concern I had with bringing Merle back is that it was going to become too small world. Like, I don't want a TV show in which everyone in which they meet, they've already met from before the outbreak, or they met earlier in the outbreak. I want to meet new characters. Like, it's not just the 40 characters in the show. There's thousands of them still alive in this world, presumably. So I want to meet new people and not just be like, oh, they just happen to run into each other in the midst of all this chaos. And obviously, so we had Michonne and Andrea being told that, I'm not sure how Michonne didn't already know this, that everyone was infected. To me, that was a bit of a surprise that she didn't know that. We get a little bit more information about her and her 2 bodyguards. And once again, we find out more about, well, kind of more about how she had a personal relationship with them. Her bodyguards, who she actually took out at the start of this episode, which I thought was surprising. I thought that she was going to have those bodyguards for the rest of the season or something, but no, she got rid of them pretty quickly. And so that's that. Yeah, the whole time we're wondering about Woodbury and the governor and like what they're hiding, because it's so suspicious. Let's get to talking to the lab now. In this perfect society, and in this society that they're trying to rebuild, in this world they're trying to recreate, you need scientists, okay? And Woodbury notices this, and they identify it, and they make it a priority apparently. And their main focus, it seems, is zombie research. And so far, from what we've seen, their zombie research is not like, it's not like District 9 where they're doing like all this unethical stuff. Not the like zombies you can be unethical with, really, but it's not like they're capturing like Andrea and Michonne and just performing tests on them to see how they, like, it's not like that. They're just testing brain activity and hunger. Oh, and most importantly from this episode, probably, well, not at least more interesting to me anyway, was we found out why Michonne's walkers were so docile. And it's because they were so starved. They didn't have anything to eat. So apparently if you starve zombies, they will become dormant almost, and just non-aggressive. So that really makes a lot of sense as to why they didn't try and eat Andrea or Michonne. Okay, so that was that. That was interesting. That was cool. The lab is very cool. I really like the idea that you can rebuild society with science. Even though I myself am not really a scientician, I just think that if you're gonna have the society, you have to have people contributing to science, so that you can say, in our laboratory, we found out that for example, if you starve a zombie, it will become docile if a zombie doesn't get to eat. That's huge. That's actually a huge breakthrough. So if a zombie, like these zombies, could basically starve themselves into just getting themselves like just sitting there and being like, oh, I can't do anything anymore because I'm so hungry. And who knows, maybe they might die over a long time. We don't know that yet. And really, next, moving on from the labs, one thing I want to address is how cool the governor really is. He's a cool cat. Let's be honest here. And for 75% of the episode, you're like, this man has it under control. He is he's a better leader in a lot of ways than Rick, because he understands his relationship with his people. He organizes well. He passes. You can see him talking to the guys in Whisper, and you can just see that he's passing on authority really well. And sorry, guys, I'm just gonna interrupt myself here and say sorry for the pictures. I feel like I should only use pictures that AMC TV produces and puts online, rather than making my own pictures off of online or finding them on Google Images for episode 3. But so right now you've been staring at the same picture the whole time, but I give you some claps for that. But we're gonna get a new picture here if I remember to. Why don't we do that right now? Actually, let's get you a new picture. Just ignore that little white flash, and we're gonna try and fix you up with a. There you go. Oh, there we go. That's pretty good. So there's the governor, and let's get into the end now. Oh boy, the ending was interesting. Two things that we have to talk about at the ending. One, the military raid, and two, the zombie aquarium. Okay, so let's start off with the military raid. Okay, so he has the pilot, and we know the pilot tells him his position, and so basically Rick, he goes out there, not Rick, I was gonna call him Rick. The governor goes out there, and he kills the military guys. Like, I don't know what to say about that. That's a confusing one for me, because it almost doesn't fit his character, but yet at the same time you just realize that this is his character, and we just haven't seen it yet. So, but my big question, like I wrote down here, murder in my notes, because he just flat out murdered these military guys. I guess it goes along. I mean, I can't support him in this. This is an evil idea. This is evil. He murdered these guys, and I can see, as you can see this picture, he got Hummers and vehicles and weapons and food and meds, but like, he could have had them anyway and had the military guys there with him. This goes back to last episode review, where we were talking about Rick's group amalgamating with the prisoner group in the prison house, and how they should have just brought more of the members together. Like, I don't know why we got to kill off all these humans. So Governor here goes off and kills probably 8 to 10 military guys, and I thought it was a little unrealistic how he just knocked them all off. Like, they probably should have suffered some casualties. Like, he's walked up there and shot one at point blank range, and then the rest of them just got shot from the woods. Like, that was surprising. Once again, I don't know why. I can see why he did it, but why not just take the military guys in with you? They have the skills. They are the highest skilled group you can get. It'd be like having 8 hammers in your toolbox all of a sudden. So I was surprised and disappointed by that, because think about it, they've got all these weapons and stuff. They can go. You can send them on scavenging missions and be like, go to this suburb over here and go clean her out of stuff. Like all those things. And go find us meds. Go to this hospital in Atlanta. Come back with stuff. Or whatever. but they didn't do it. They killed them all. The governor, and you know this isn't the first time he's done this. This governor has a lot of blood in his hands, but you know what? He's still a cool cat about it. Like, you saw how when Shane became bad, with like Otis and stuff, when he broke bad, it really broke him. He became a loose cannon. Whereas the governor, he's not a loose cannon. This is his world. Like, whatever he was before this, he is this man that does this to protect his civilization, and not to just protect it, but to strengthen it and build it and legitimize itself. And they're almost like they're a country, or not a country, but a city-state back in like 300 or 1000 BC, and they just, like the good old days when you just went out there and raped and pillaged your way through the world and tried to expand. There's no prisoners of war or anything like that. So that's that. Let's move on to the fish tank. At the very end of the episode, he goes, he's in his master quarters there, and he's got a girl. Now this girl, okay, who I think is the same girl that Andrea and Michonne were talking to earlier in the episode, as they were walking down the street, and she told them they had 73 guys in the town, or 73 people in the town, and one of them's pregnant, which may or may not come back later. And so I think that's the same person. And I was looking for an answer for this online after, but of course the episode just went out, so nothing's the community hasn't got the ball rolling yet on everything that's going on and their thoughts on everything. So I'm just going to present my thoughts and what I think of it right now. I have two possible identifications for this lady. If they, I'm not 100% sure the person in the bed was the same as the person in the streets they were talking to, but I'm pretty sure. First theory is that it's Paula. Paula was a girl who was talking to Lori in a flashback at the school about her marriage with Rick and how it was on the rocks. And then Shane showed up and told Lori about Rick's bad condition. Actually, how he'd been shot. Sorry. Yeah. She was picking up Carl from school. So I think it could be Paula. I think it could be, but I'm not 100% sure. I actually don't think it. That's my first theory. My second theory is this is more of a long shot, but I'm wanting this long shot to land somewhere. I'm thinking it might be Lily Call, who was in the comic book series. Another long shot. She's basically, if this is Lily Call, it's a more. I've never read the comics, but I played the video game though, the Telltale video game. And Lily Call is this would be a more residential version of her, let's just say. So that's a possibility too. I really want to see Lily in this game though, because Lily in this TV show, Lily in the video game, we were best friends, me and her. So I'm really interested in seeing that. So that's my two theories. The other alternative is that it's someone completely new, which is, I'd say there's probably a 50, maybe a 60, 70% chance that that's actually what it is someone new, which I think is kind of disappointing because I want it to be Lily, I really do, but it could be Paula too, but I don't think it's Paula. I don't think they look quite the same. I was unable to get my video to work again, but go look up Paula and see what you think, and post in the comments below what your thoughts are on that. The fish tank of zombies. So basically, I'm not sure what exactly. I know that he had the two of Michonne's walkers in there, and the pilot were in that fish tank. And I mean, there's things to say on this, but I don't really know what to say. Like, it's creepy, it's weird, it's dark, it's messed up. You can see he's got a dark side to him clearly. So yeah, I'm not sure what the other. I don't know. There was quite a few other zombie heads in there. I didn't get that good a look at them. I don't think they were anyone we know of. So something to keep an eye on. But I really, really hope that lover of the governor's is Lily. Oh, that would make the season for me right there. Dr. Pepper. Good stuff. Okay, guys, somehow this review has gone the longest of all of them. I thought it was going to be short because my notes were actually the shortest, but I'm just more just freelancing and talking about how I feel about the episode and all the elements. And so going back to Rick's group next time, what we can expect to see, we're going to find out what was going on with Carol and that zombie she was doing a test on. I'm looking forward to that. It looks like if you look at the preview, it looks like Glenn and Maggie are getting very intimate, for sure, sleeping in the guard tower together, and it looks like they're doing some more general cleanup of the prison house. So I'm looking forward to episode 4. Episode 3 was pretty good. It was it was a building block episode, which is fine. You need those. And looking forward to the next one. Thanks for watching, guys, and have a good one.